What is happening, everybody? I hope you've had a good...
Back in like 2005, something like that.
I think my first con was so good. It's Friday Junior.
It's Friday Junior. It's podcast day. It's payday.
And when you come out, do it electrically. Doesn't matter how you feel about the situation.
My name is Raff. We're always start the podcast because we just want to talk about it. We'll talk about music and just share those stories and experience. This is my co-host, Carl, a.k.a. the BeerBuddy. He is hailing you.
This sort of weird era where they're sort of right in that post-grunge.
Look, you're fighting the good fight in today's world. My war was fought 40 years ago, really.
We are the two dudes who talk music, and we are here. Hey, I'm too quick on that air horn button, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, that is amazing. I love every second of it, dude. Fantastic.
What's going on, all you amazing people? I am the Reverend Raff, joined once again by my good friend Kyle, aka the BeerBuddy. We are the titular two dudes who talk music, and it is time for another podcast episode. Mate, before I dive in though to that stuff, just letting everyone know, of course, as a reminder, you can find our podcast episodes on YouTube, as well as on all your regular audio podcast platforms. So whichever your platform of choice, you can always find us there. We do also have a Patreon, if you're interested in that. Only a couple of bucks a month. You get everything early and ad-free, and we are looking for more ways to make that a bit more valuable for people. It goes towards supporting us. If you're curious as to what we do with the money, at the moment, nothing, because we haven't reached the payout limit. But once we do reach the payout limit, and we can start, it'll go towards funding like the Zoom subscription for the good quality video calls, funding like the audio podcast distributor, maybe eventually if we can build up enough, the idea is we get someone to help out with editing just to make things a little bit fancier and smoother there, just generally to help improve the production quality of what we're bringing for you guys and also allow us to do more interesting things, maybe try and cater a little bit less to the YouTube algorithm and just do more of what we want to do.
Give you what you want.
That sort of things. But more of what we want to do, give you guys more of what you want to see without having to go, okay, but is YouTube going to push you guys the video? If you're ever on the Patreon, you're going to get it there. It's going to show up for you, and you're not going to have to worry about that. But yeah, mate, look, how have you been, dude? Like, it's been a hectic time. You went and got yourself a little old tattoo.
I did.
For Firefly, with congratulations to
without showing to congratulations. I got the Firefly.
You can kind of see it. There you go. Jesus Christ, mate! You get some
pasty pins. No, it was great. It was great. Big shout out to Din from Incult Studios out at Enfield. You did some great work, homie. And really great work. That place a vibe though.
And a big congratulations to Firefly for winning the Good Things Band competition, and to Neville and the Snake Mountain Boys, who won the Brisbane leg.
Oh, so
they're going to be on Brisbane Good Things, and Firefly is going to be on Sydney Good Things. It's a good year.
We'll have to get Snake Mountain back on.
It's a good year. It really, really is. It's a good year. So
great. It's great year for all our friends, man. Everyone's getting wins, and this is what we're here for.
Yes.
Some of the friends getting wins.
We love it when our friends do well, because when our friends do well, everyone benefits.
The scene does
When anyone in the scene does well, the scene as a whole benefits, which is what we're all about. We're all about supporting the scene there. No, I mean, look, I've been all right. I've been good. Had the first rehearsal last night with the new thing that I've spoken to you about. Nothing's been announced publicly yet. The time will come. The time will come when the time comes. But no. So a first rehearsal of a new. Well, it's an existing thing, but I'm new to the thing. So
it's going to be fresh.
It should be good. Should be a lot of fun. We're all very excited about it. We've got lots of ideas firing and all that good stuff. But it is coming up towards the end of the year. It's that special time of year. So
you know what that means, man.
It does. Yeah, I do. That means our end of year live stream, which is going to be coming up. If you've joined us for any of those in the past, we get a little bit more not safe for work than we normally would. So those live
go up, and then the only people that are getting them are you Patreon people.
Yeah, that's it. It can't stay up on YouTube, but we'll be popping it up over on the Patreon. So if you want to catch it, tune into the live stream. If you don't catch the live stream and you want to catch it, the only place is going to be over on the Patreon. But we got some cool guests that are going to be jumping in for that. And look, the end. If you haven't seen one of our live streams before like that, basically the purpose is, it's the end of the year. It's that weird space between Christmas and New Year, and where time kind of doesn't really have any meaning. And what we do is we just jump on a live stream where we can see the chat with you guys. And we just shoot the shit with our guests, have a bunch of drinks, reminisce on the year that's been, do some more reactions or show each other some cool songs or videos, talk about whatever comes up, talk about whatever the chat wants to talk about. And, just generally have a good time, celebrating the end of the year, sharing a drink with the people that we maybe can't share a drink with in person for one reason or another, but just celebrating the end of the year. So that'll be coming up on Friday the 27th. I think Friday the 27th is the date that we were saying there. Friday the 27th of December. So that'll be there. We'll have the video go up, the live stream session go up a little bit sooner, so you can hit the remind me thing and make sure you get a notification when it goes up. But yeah, just 27th, Friday the 27th. I know a lot of people will be have a few days off work through there and whatnot. So make sure you come along to the YouTube channel, grab yourself a few drinks, and we'll all just kick back, have a good old chat, have a bit of a laugh, and look back on the year that's been, which will be a lot of fun. But mate, we got some pretty special guests today.
Oh, dude, do we what? I love it when we get to jet set a bit with our guests.
So those of you who are regular viewers of the channel will know that we did a reaction a little while ago to a band from Portugal called All Against. We did a reaction to their song Nepotism. Great song, absolutely ripping thrash track. These guys, they clearly know their stuff, and we had a lot of fun with that song. And, as a result of our reaction to doing a reaction to that one, we got talking with the guys, and we've got them on the podcast today for all of you. So this is a real international effort for today's episode, and we get to take a little bit of a peek into what the metal scene's like in Portugal. Spoiler alert, if you're in the Australian metal scene, you'll hear a lot of familiar situations. And,
it's crazy.
And we get to talk about their upcoming album that's going to be dropping in early 2025, which is, look, we're excited for that one. We really, really are. Because from what they told us, sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Well, if it's anything to go off their last two singles, it's going to be very dynamic. Good. It's going to be dynamic.
Yeah. So we're excited for that one. But we're going to dive into the chat right now with these guys. But look, it's time for tinnies and tunes with these two buffoons. Let's get to it. Welcome, gentlemen, joining us from all the way on the other side of the globe. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, with us today, we have Bruno and Henqirue from All Against. They are a metal band from Lisbon in Portugal. We did a reaction to one of their songs not too long ago. I got to say, it was an absolute banger. And they were kind enough to, after we did the reaction, we got talking and we're like, do you guys want to come on and talk to us for the podcast? They were generous enough to say yes. And now here we are. So thank you very, very much for joining us, in the morning. I know you guys have had, a lot on your plates and you're kind of tired at the moment with a lot going on. But thank you very, very much for hopping on the call and chatting with us today. It really is a pleasure to speak to you guys. How's your morning's been? How's everything been for you guys?
Well, I just woke up. I know that for you guys it's already lunchtime, but
it must be really weird watching someone drink a beer that first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Well, honestly not. Believe me.
No, we're metalheads. It's not strange.
No, we've
No,
been
no,
through that.
honest,
So
yeah, we've been even earlier. I think
yeah,
Henrique, when
even
we were
yeah,
doing the video clip for Nepotism, the one that you guys did the
yeah.
react,
Mm.
it was like in the morning, and then Sergio, the other guy, the lead guitar, was like, "Do you want a beer?" And I said, "Oh yeah, cool, cool." And I
Yeah,
was
let's
just
drink.
moaning
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you.
liquid breakfast. Nothing wrong with that.
yeah. We were
And then I just
preparing.
realized, dude, it's not even 10 a.m. in the morning. And I was like,
Yeah. So
Oh, it's always weird when you have it and it goes down that well that early, and you're just
I
like, this
think
shouldn't be this good.
I think the earliest I
"Oh
had was
man,
I was I was flying to Perth, which is on the other side of Australia, to do a show one time. And yeah, it was like 7:30 in the morning because we had to get the cheap flight that was early on, and we're like, yeah, all right, we're on tour, let's get some drinks, and so we just started drinking at like 7:30 in the morning. It was
yeah,
that was funnily enough that was the same weekend that I fell over and busted my face on the edge of a coffee table.
Oh,
So
jeez, that's
tour life, baby. But yes, so we reviewed the film. We did a reaction to the song and film clip for Nepotism. Like I said, absolute like cracking song. Like we can tell from that song that you guys like your influences really come through with that song.
yeah,
Like we're listening, especially in like like the guitar solo and everything through that. We can really tell where some of those influences are with like a lot of the early Metallica and Megadeth kind of stuff coming through there. But like, just let's kind of backtrack a little bit. Let's go back. How long has All Against like been a band? How long have you guys been playing together?
Well, the band started in 2015, so next year will be 10 years.
wow.
Yeah. So let me just give a quick resume on this.
Yeah.
We started 2015. Only in 2017 we recorded our first. I think it was a single. Yeah, it was like a DIY something like we did. Like we recorded the drums, like a live take, and then I just recorded the guitars and bass at home and mix it. But I'm no a sound engineer or wherever something like that. It was just something for us to put it on the outside and say, look, this is something that we do. Of course, looking back now, like what we did, it's totally different what we are playing now. But this is how we also build up and step up a little bit as a band.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also with previous members. The only original member that it's on the band, it's me and the bass player, Luis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then there were people coming out for personal reasons, and that's it. In 2019, we recorded our first album. It was "I Am Alive,"
Mm-hmm.
that we released in COVID. In the COVID,
No.
yeah, that time was something that I think we all want to forget. And 2019, and then we started recorded the. When did you join, Eric? It was
Mass Murder 22.
22, but
Yeah,
end
22.
of 22, right? Or middle of
Yeah,
22.
end of 22 September, around September. Yeah, fine. Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
end of September, if I'm not wrong.
Enrique joined us in the end of September 2022. We already had the Day of Reckoning. It's our previous album. I don't know if you guys had the chance to listen to it, but it's also really, really good. And we had all the stuff already ready to go to studio. And Enrique joined, and as soon as he joined, I told him, "Look, I'm just going to throw you now under the bus because we really need to step up." Because as soon as he started, we went to Alentejo, so it's south of Portugal, and recorded the single from Mass Murder Policy, and then that was it. We started recorded videos for releasing as a singles to promote the album, The Day of Reckoning. It was considered one of the best metal thrash albums here in Portugal. So, like
Oh,
I said, guys,
wow.
If you guys didn't have the chance to listen, go and check it out. We had also some really good reviews from webzines from outside. Managed to be top 3 albums, something like this. We also joined the DUI Anticorpus booking, where he also has Marty Friedman as an artist in his roster. So that was also really, really awesome for us. And we played in Vagos Metal Fest, is one of the Portugal metal fests here in Portugal and in Europe, one of the biggest fests.
That's awesome.
Jeez, man.
That's awesome. So is like because we haven't had a chance to listen through like the full catalog there, but I have had sort of dipped into a couple of them there, and it's like I said, it's clear that you guys, like, you know what you're doing, the passion's there, the skills there, like you're writing stuff that is just at the core essence of what heavy metal is, and like that's one of the reasons that with doing this podcast is like we love finding all these other cool bands that we would never have known about otherwise, and when we get a chance to listen to this kind of stuff and experience this stuff, and I mean, so because like I guess we hear in Australia, like the metal scene is fairly small over here, right? What's it like? How is it sort of? How healthy is the metal scene over there in Portugal, and how is it sort of accepted? How is it viewed by like the more mainstream audiences as opposed to, like
because it is a very dense Catholic population over there. Let's just call it for what it is. It's very, very big Catholic, and there is still that stigma. Just after you saw what happened on Jimmy Kimmel the other night when they had
knocked loose on Jimmy Kimmel,
when you had
knocked
loose, and now everyone's complaining and everyone's asking for an apology, and they've one of their songs is streamed over 40 million times. They well deserve the accolades.
Yeah. Oh, I think here in Portugal we have a lot of bands.
Yeah, a lot. So it's a saturated market.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe too much.
Yeah. If you guys think you have less bands there, here, and you are on the big area, here is the opposite. So we are a small area. This is a country with 11 million people. 11.
We only got 6.
What are you?
No, sorry, we got 24. We got 24, but
24 million.
24. We got
spread
6.
Out.
We got 6 in New South Wales.
I think there are too much bands. I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but there's a lot of bands.
So there's a lot of bands that are active over there.
Yeah. And it's actually difficult for all of those bands to have their opportunity, since there are too much, let's say, for our population. It's not easy for all of them to have a good opportunity to show their music, to give some concerts, etc. So,
is that because of the lack of venues? Not too many venues over there that accommodate for the heavy metal.
The thing is, in Portugal, we have mainly 1 or 2 cities that have venues. We have a few in Lisbon, a few in Porto. Then we have Castelo Branco. Have one or another spread out in the country, not that much.
Yeah, but they are remotely from the cities, so that's also it's a major issue, because you will try to get people to go to those venues, and if it's a little bit far away from the main cities, they will just not go. Here in Lisbon, we have some venues, but honestly, it's really hard to try to book, because you need to pay. Simple. You need to pay for the venue. You need to rent the space. It's either like a festival that the organization invites you to play. Otherwise, if you want to do something, you need to do it on your own.
Yeah. You have to invest and then it's kind of a lottery if you get in the payback or not. So
yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of since it sounds a little bit similar in some ways to over here, because despite us having, you know, such a large country and a sort of bigger population than what you guys face, like the heavy metal is not a very it's a popular genre in terms of a lot of people listen to it, but there's not a lot of venues in a given city that will put on heavy metal shows regularly. And you know, and a lot of the time, sometimes the venues you'll have to pay if you want to use them. Sometimes they'll have, you know, they'll just say, oh, we'll just you can use it for free on some nights but not others, or but also in a similar way, like if it's not really in like the city center, it can be very difficult to get people to go to the venues, and it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes. And I think that for at least here in Australia, what I find is the struggle to do it means that people stay truer to their own artistic vision of what they want to do with their bands. They don't feel they don't feel they're going to chase a trend to try and bring people into the shows or gain more popularity. They're like, if I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it on my own terms, doing it the way I want to do it. And I imagine from what you're describing, you probably get a fairly similar situation over there. A lot of the bands are like not chasing trends, but they're like, this is the kind of music I love and this is the kind of music I want to make. So that's the music I'm going to make. And if I have success from that, then it's going to be because it's doing the music I love rather than because they're chasing a trend.
Yeah. We all know that it's like if I wanted to make money playing music, it will not be thrash metal.
We've said that so many times on this podcast, my dude.
The first thing that you want to do if you want to make money with your music is sell your instruments. Then you can do money, but
and learn how to program it off your laptop.
Or play something that it's not yours.
Yeah, pretty
something
much.
like that.
Yep. I'm glad. You know what the weird thing is? It's crazy actually how similar it is to the Australian metal scene. Like it's pretty much like word for word of what we combat over here. You know, we have a mad saturation of bands. The venues are few and far between. The venues that you do have sometimes are a bit hard to get to, and if you haven't exactly got the most decent lineup, people aren't going to come through the doors. You've got to get people to pay and the whole lot. Like it's really weird, because I always thought that, you know, just I guess being a ignorant Australian in this sort of sense is that, oh, you guys are in Europe, you know, it's a really healthy scene over there, everything's going gangbusters, and it's just sort of like an assumption, but quite clearly it's not.
No, I think this is something that it's worldwide. It's like a disease that spread worldwide, you know. And on my opinion, I think that most of the people that don't know the bands, I think people, they don't even if you have now Spotify or Apple or YouTube or Bandcamp or wherever, and you just with a click you know what to listen. Okay, if you imagine a gig in your town and you don't know any of the bands, and you just look for it. Simple. And people don't do it.
No,
people don't do it. Even if they don't know the bands, they will not search for it. They will not listen to one or two tracks, and they do not go to the show. But if they see a kind of a lookalike of a band that it identifies as an original band and have the names opposite, then they will go, because they will know what they want to listen.
Yeah,
and this is why the venues pay those bands, so you don't pay to play. So the venues pay those bands for you to go there, because they know that they'll have at least a better house.
So when you talk about the name switching, you're talking about like a tribute band or something like that, that'll basically take a band, say like Korn, and call themselves Peas, and then they go and play their show. They're guaranteed to get paid.
Yeah, but this happens because first of all, because that offer exists, but The main thing is that the people, it's like Bruno was saying, it's kind of a disease that is spreading worldwide. This is, I think it has to be with people are nostalgic. People. So when I met my girlfriend, I was hearing this music. When we went to the car, I was hearing this. Yeah. So, and people always remember those musics that heard a few years ago, and they want to hear almost.
I'm sorry, I cringe every time I
Same
hear
thing.
"Warning" by Green Day. I lost my cherry to that, and I should have taken the warning.
That's not. It's normal, but most people don't have an open mind to hear new things. Basically, that's my opinion about that.
No,
So
you're right.
the tendon,
It's
yeah.
I
So
don't
the
think it's an
tendency-
opinion; it's a fact.
No, sometimes I'm just scrolling here on the web and I just see people on doing an ad looking for drummers or guitars or bass players, and then to start a lookalike band. And I'm just saying, dude, just compose stuff, man. Write something that it's yours, man.
We just had a band on the podcast that they play covers shows to get paid, and then use that money to fund their original stuff. So they actually the same band does both to sort of try and fund their original stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's a great way to do it.
That's a way of doing it.
That's really, really smart.
At least you're doing something original, something yours, man. This is really simple. I prefer to have at least 50, 100 people singing something that it's mine than a full stadium singing something that it's not mine. And you can say, but you're crazy, because like I said, if I was here for the money, I will not be playing this.
Exactly. This is what I mean. Like, this part of the reason that we like to interview people because we get the passion, you know, like Kyle and I have both been in bands over, you know, the last sort of 15, 20 years, you know, we've done the thing. And like Kyle and I we are so in love with music and metal especially that that's the whole point of the podcast, is getting to talk to other people that are just as passionate about it as we are, which is, you know, what's so amazing. And we've tried, and I think your point, you know, you were talking before, like there's this thing where apparently a lot of people's music taste sort of crystallizes once they get to about 30, 35, you know, it's sort of, they don't really seek out a lot of new music after that. They tend to just listen to what they already know. And, you know, we actively try and avoid that. We actively try and seek out new bands to listen to all the time and expand it. I mean, we're starting a new series in 2025 called Rockin' Around the World, where we hit a randomizer and it gives us a random metal band from somewhere in the world. And it pulls from from literally all over the world. There's like bands from like French Polynesia and like, you know, also all over like the Middle East and Asia and everything. Well, there was, so it was like a black metal band from Portugal, like Hellgoat 666 or something, I think. I don't know, like a black metal type thing.
But the black metal style here in Portugal is increasing as hell, as I have never seen. It's like we are the new Norwegian.
Yeah.
But it's great to see. But it's weird how it's such an extreme, and all those black metal fans and stuff like that, they're loyal. Like they show up to shows.
Yeah. That's true. I think that might be because nowadays we have a band that is Garia. They are I don't know, 10 years, 10, 11, 13 years, I don't know. But they are now doing many tours around the world. So they are very popular, and maybe because of that, we are in a boom with black metal now in Portugal.
It is a good time to be a metalhead at the moment.
Yeah. I'm alright. The next band I'll just name it Free Beer. So when you do a flyer, You just had free beer, the date, and the hour, and I'm pretty sure that you have there a shitload of people.
See, this guy's thinking. I like that. You got to
That's
be
marketing.
work smarter, not harder.
Free
See,
beer.
I'm already going.
Free beer.
Yeah. So you were mentioning as well, like you guys played. Was it Vagos Metal Fest?
Yeah.
Like, what was that experience like for you guys? I imagine there was kind of a fairly sizable crowd for that one.
Yeah.
How did that come about, and how was that sort of for you guys playing on that larger stage like that?
Let me just throw Henrique under the bus again. Henrique, how was it for you?
For me, it was. It was. I have a curious story to tell you, because the previous year I was in the festival, seeing Testament, Exodus, and I tell my wife, man, I have to play in this festival. One day I will play in this festival. So it was a year in the year after. So it was kind of a dream come true, because it's one of the biggest festivals in Portugal, and it's well known around Europe. And there are lots of people coming from Spain, Italy, whatever, to assist that festival. So for me, it was kind of a dream to play there, and being there, being on stage, and being in backstage with other bands. We spoke with Dave Ellefson, for example, from ex Megadeth. So we were speaking with him like we knew him since a lot of years. So it was very fun. It was very good for us to have that experience. And yeah, the festival, the concert itself, it was great, man. It was great.
And we were
That's
also
so cool.
the first. We were also the first band on that day to have a wall of death.
Mate, I'm literally watching the video right here, right now on YouTube, man. Like,
yeah.
dude, the drone shots were
Yeah.
very good, man.
Half on one
Full
side,
circle
half
thing.
on the other.
Yeah, man, it's very cool, very cool.
That's
We had a lot of
awesome.
fun.
That's so good, man. Like, I like that.
It was.
I jump out of the stage, and I made the Moses the Moses thing
parting
to
the sea.
separate
Yeah,
the waters.
Part the Black Sea.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I was just having a look at the stage setup in that. It looks like the stages are set up in a circle, and everyone just sort of walks around to the different stages through the day. Was that how? Because
No, you had one stage on one side, and then you had the main stage on the other side. So people will come from here to here. You see, it's like
you just turn around.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I think it's easier. But
bro,
that was a really good day. That one. But we played also with Destruction.
Yeah, in Beja.
Yeah, in South we also play with Infected Rain in RCA here in Lisbon.
Yeah, we made the opening act for them.
Yeah,
That's really
we'll
cool.
play now with Violence on May. It will be here, and we'll also be part of the opening act.
That's really cool. So you guys are making some waves. You guys are getting some of those support slots for the touring bands, which is always nice. It's always nice to get that kind of. It feels like a bit of validation, you know. Like you're like, okay, we're getting these opportunities. Like we're obviously doing something right. You know, we're because I mean I've been fortunate enough to be in bands that just opened for a few different things. Like we had so I've opened for Head PE when they toured in Australia a while back. Soilwork. I've opened for Soilwork. I've opened for more recently the band, the link that I sent through, the Masked band there. We did a show in support of Anders Kolsevny, the original Slipknot vocalist. He came over here and did that Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat album in full on like a tour over here. So we got to...
and Waylon Reeves.
And Waylon from Mushroom Head was also on that tour. He came as well.
Oh,
and they
Killer's
did
Confession.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we got to do that one. So it's great because you get to talk to some of these people and you're like, okay, cool. Like you're just like me. Like you love music the way I love music. And you get to just feel like you're on the same level with them in some way. I wanted to ask the I've been looking like over the sort of the artwork on the albums and singles there. Is that all from like the same person doing the artwork there, or have you guys gone to like some different people for those ones? Because it looks like sort of a consistent style across some of those.
Well, the first one, it's the first one it was all against. It was a skull. I did something really fast in Photoshop. Then for the single, the first EP that we released, it was Feed the Machine. So Feed the Machine and I'm Alive. Yes, it was an artist that did those sketches, those drawings. Then for the single, when we released the Mass Murder Policy, that it's a child playing on some debris. You have a bomb, and then the buildings on the background, everything just destroyed. It was a Brazilian sketch artist also that did that one. And then on the next one, so the Day of Reckoning, and this one, the Straight Down to Hell, it's something that I've created with AI.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nepotism as well.
And also the nepotism. Yeah.
Okay. Because those like that artwork for the Day of Reckoning is like, that's badass. Like that is so badass. It's like, but I mean, all of the artwork that you guys have got there, it's like I feel like it captures a vibe. It captures an energy about it that is like you kind of can't look away from it. Which I think is really, really cool. But so Day of Reckoning, is there a, I mean, I'm seeing, like a lot of the song titles on there, like, like Mass Murder Policy, Declaration of War, Fight Until I Die. Is there like a theme of like rebellion or like fighting for justice or something like that running through the album? Is there a theme that runs through the whole album?
Yeah. And you have both. You have a fight for your rights, and you also have a rebellion kind. Also, we have a song. It's in Portuguese. It's called Rebellion, and that one it's in Portuguese. The Mass Murder Policy was something. This was previous from Henrique, so I did all the lyrics from that album. When Henrique joined, like I said, everything was already done because the previous vocal he just left, so I had all the stuff ready to go. The Mass Murder Policy was something that people may think it can be something related with the Russia and Ukrainian war, but it's not. It's not. I don't know if you guys remember that image of a child like 3 or 4 years old lying on the beach dead.
Was that the immigration one where they come over on? Yes, I do remember that. Yes,
that image was strong as fuck. And a Mass Murder Policy, that was a policy that was approved by certain countries, to let the migrants coming across to Poland to come to Europe, and then they were just freezing to death. They were just dying there on the borders of Europe. Yeah.
So they weren't helping them or anything. They were just leaving them and letting them. Oh, that's
because
so
one country open the doors and say you can go ahead because you can go ahead because you go to the other country. And then they were just living there. There were people. There were kids dying on a father's arms, frozen. Okay, so this was in 2020, 2021, something like this. So I think it's something, man, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And then this is where the mass murder policy and the Day of Reckoning, the name of the Day of Reckoning, it's something that all of these actions that we are doing to each other all around the world, all of us will have our Day of Reckoning.
Oh yeah,
all of us.
Yeah,
and then the last song, it's something really, really to calm down, because you have a blast through the album, and then the last one, it's not an intro, it's an outro. That's why it's called an outro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's like it's such, like you say, it's such a powerful image you were referencing there, and those kinds of things are horrific, that humans can do that to other humans and let that happen to other people. And you know, it's.
I think what the scariest part is when, yes, that, but when people have to leave. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one should have to flee their home to look for something. To look for something better in the first place. And I think the worst thing that any other country can do is give false hope to those people to think that they're going to survive and lie to them. Because that's all those people would have gone through those borders with, this hope that they're going to get to the other side. And
and
it takes a sick and twisted mind to watch people give people all that hope and then let them go through that.
That's why it was called the mass murder policy, because there was a mass murder.
Yeah.
And even when people don't die, and even some people make it, this is some kind of a new slavery of these times we are living, and these people are ending to be explored in whatever the country they go. It's okay. The politicians. It's very nice to see in news and the politics. We have to integrate people. We have to mix them with every country population. But in the end of the day, we know that's not going to happen. So it's very sad. It's very sad,
especially when kids are involved.
That's
the worst part.
The song that I wrote in Portuguese, Rebellion. I remember, man, I was just turning on the TV, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! It's always the same guys that are being condemned, that are being chased by the law. All politics. You see, politics from the party A is involved on this scheme. Politics from the party B, it's involved. And I was like, Jesus, it's all the same. We have a trial here that after 10 years, 10 fucking years, okay? José Sócrates, you know, he was one of the former prime ministers here in Portugal, okay? He was prime minister, okay? He's not a minister of state. He was prime minister. And he's still not being condemned.
Yeah. The judgment starts, then it stops. Then the guy was on jail until the maximum allowed. Then the guy came out again. And we are on this
It's not
loop.
murder, it's politics. Is a completely different thing. It's just like, you know, if we lie to the government, it's treason. If the government lies to you, that's politics.
I mean, I'm.
That's good.
It gives me a little bit of hope to see that there is still music being made in that spirit of rebellion, in that spirit of saying we're not gonna fucking take it. Like we have, you know, and I mean, you've seen like rock and metal has been part of that rebellion for, you know, the whole time it's been a thing, you know, bands like Twisted Sister back in the day that were very sort of going against the grain on a lot of things. Bands like Rage Against the Machine, very obviously very heavy politically. Even you go back to like Black Sabbath, and while they may not have, Black Sabbath may not have been intentionally anti-establishment, at least not at first. A lot of their music was viewed as very anti-establishment and had themes that people didn't want to talk about. And as you say, Sex Pistols, a lot of punk bands throughout, you know, the 70s and 80s there as well, and even up to, you know, so it's gives me a little bit of hope to see that there is still people that are like making music to rattle the cages, to just plant the flag and be like, no, like this is not okay, and it has to be said, and not, you know, we have to shout and scream about this to get the message across. And you know, it's never pleasant to talk about these things. I think as musicians, it's almost it allows us to have a degree of catharsis and process some of these emotions that we feel about these things, and express them in a way that is, you know, healthier than maybe like, you know, throwing rocks riding in the streets and stuff like that. And that's not to say that protesting in the streets doesn't have its place, because of course it does. And sometimes when peaceful protest doesn't get the message across, you know, it has to get a bit more, you know, bit rougher. But as long as that's directed at the right places, and not just at like, you know, like local businesses and people trying to go there, as long as it's directed at corporations and the government, you know, we're all good, you know. So what?
Yeah, sometimes we feel that we are doing some kind of a public service, because sometimes we feel that we are alerting some people that might not be with attention in what is happening around, and sometimes we feel like that. Sometimes we feel like it's a mission that we have. So I personally feel that people have to open their eyes. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. So you've had, obviously, you know, you've got the Day of Reckoning. That one came out last year. You've had a couple of singles you guys have dropped over the course of this year. So Straight Down to Hell and then Nepotism, which those are off the album that's coming up.
Yep.
Okay, so what can people expect from the new album, and when might that album be releasing?
Oh, I love those giggles when those questions get asked. those hearty chuckles.
You know what that laughter says to me is like, y'all don't even know what's coming. Like, people just going to be, minds are going to be blown by that.
No, it will be a fucking banger. This new album. It will be released in the first 3 months. It's not yet scheduled, but it will be released earlier 2025.
It is finished, completed, sent to the master.
Yeah, done.
Everything's done. We already had another video clip to release, also as a single. Yeah.
So that coming a little bit before the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Cool. Yeah. We are deciding. Maybe we are going to shoot another one. And maybe from those two, we are going. More. Yeah, more.
Always more at the moment. Always more at the moment.
Yeah,
if you can do it and you have the means.
Always a step ahead. No, the mains we have. The main, because you're looking at the guy that shoots and do the Bruno do all the thing. He shoots nice. and he make the.
What are you rolling there? Is that a Black Magic
production?
No, it's an Alpha 6500.
Oh, nice.
To Sony.
Very cool. Nice. Very cool. Well, yeah, he was telling us before, like the horror stuff that he does, and he showed us one of the videos there for that. So that's we're digging. We can dig that. We can dig that. But this is, you know, you kind of have to do that these days. You kind of have to have people in the band that can do these things, that can do some of the production, you know, for audio, and that can do some of the video production, and that can do graphic design and that sort of thing. It's you know, it's a lot of bands are sort of almost pirate ships these days, in terms of you're all musicians, but everyone has to bring an extra skill as well. Yeah. That can be used for promotion and doing all of the extra stuff that comes along with it. So
the industry is not anymore like it was
exactly
30 years ago, and so we have to go to it.
Bingo.
I wish it was. I'm still waiting for that record producer to come walking through the pub one day and slam the record contract on the table and go, "We want 5 more albums of this, please."
So what?
That's an utopia nowadays.
What can people expect from the new album that's coming out? Like, how would it compare to Day of Reckoning, and what might people that are familiar with your other songs be able to expect from the new album?
When people ask that to us, the first thing that comes up, it's a word in Portuguese that is jogaço. Jogaço, it means that is quick,
stripping.
Quick as fuck.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Faster.
We say send it.
Send it.
No, but we continue to have lots of criticism. I think it's a rage. It's a little bit more rage in some lyrics, in some songs. Nepotism. It's a criticism, a pure criticism to the way like things go in politics here in Portugal. Mm-hmm. And you have one or two other more songs like that. Then we will have faster songs. We will have it's a step. It's a step.
Awesome.
A step ahead.
So basically, like pretty
on the other one.
So people will be able to recognize it as all against material, but it's just turned up to 11, right? Just harder, faster, angrier, more intense. Like,
yeah, I think that the band identity, it's there. Okay, it's not lost. This is something that is really important to us also, to maintain the identity. But you'll have really, really angry riffs, really shredding solos, those fucking breakdowns that you break your neck just like that. When you there's a meme when you see, it's like when you see the bassist like this, something like that, then you're gonna die in the fucking pit.
Yeah.
The bass player with the glasses.
Yeah. And our bass player has glasses, so
there you go. Yeah. Well, we need to. What we'll have to do is we'll have to send you an email with a bunch of like Aussie slang that you can slip in to shout at the crowd in your live sets, right? So,
it's there's also another meme that you're completely drunk when you're fluid and Aussie.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's every music festival that I think I've been to in Australia, where all these international bands come over, at least one band does a shoey, and I don't know if you're familiar with what a shoey is. So shoey, SHOEY. So shoe.
It is Y. It is Y
with Y on the end. And basically, you pour your beer into the shoe and then you drink out of the shoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's rules to it. It's either got to be your shoe or a desert or a donated shoe.
Yeah,
it was a big thing in the motorbikes. I think it was one of the Aussie guys that won the motorbikes one year.
Yeah, but
poured the champagne into the shoe and then done the shoey.
It's become a bit of an Australian thing to do. So a lot of bands will do that now. But
which is ironic because they have that German shoe glass.
There's the boot.
The boot.
Yeah, the boot. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we are going
to do that. We are going to do that when we play in Australia.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. We'll make sure to buy you guys a nice new pair of shoes for it, though. We won't make you do it with your tour shoes. They got to do it with a fresh one off their own feet after a set. Oh
yeah, filth.
There's not a strong enough alcohol in the world to make that safe to drink.
No, I don't even think you can put 151 in that. That'll kill whatever's in that.
But we'll send you guys some Aussie slang to shout at the crowd as encouragement encouragement for to make him go crazy. So the album itself, the forthcoming album is called Straight Down to Hell, which is the same name as the first single that you guys released from that one. Yeah. So the artwork on that single as well is really, really badass too. Like it's clear to me and to Kyle that you guys both you guys focus, or you understand the importance of album art still. In a lot of people will say, it's like everything's on streaming, no one looks at the album artwork anymore, like no one does this or that. But I genuinely think that in heavy metal there's still a lot of love for the idea of the artwork, album artwork and the cover art telling a bit of a story about what is what's under the cover, like, and they say don't judge a book by its cover. But in when it comes to music, that's still something that happens a lot in metal.
I don't say that. If they said don't judge books by its cover, they wouldn't put fucking cool covers on them.
Exactly. So I think that's what I love. Like, I love good artwork. Sorry, go on. Yep.
Did you guys have the chance to listen to that song? First single?
I haven't had a chance to listen to that one just yet, unfortunately.
It's beautiful. I'm listening to it right now. I'm actually having to watch the little video that you guys got for it as well. It is, and
it's because of the comparison of what you guys have listened so far compared to that song. It's totally different.
Well, for 9 minutes and 7 seconds, it want to be a journey, and for the start, and so far from what I'm hearing, it absolutely is. It really it stretches you out as musicians, and doesn't just put you in a category of thrash metalers.
Yeah,
you have the capability to write a piece.
Yeah. That one came really, really nice. And it's like we are saying, it's 9 minutes, but you don't even realize that you have listened to the song for 9 minutes.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than when a song, especially with that much length, it stagnates. Do you know what I mean? I want it to move. It's got to flow. It's got to send me to places. It's almost got to be like a movie in a sense if I'm engaged for that long.
Yeah.
This one we added also. Yeah, sorry, Rick.
No, I was saying that it's music that is evolving with the time. So we have the chance to do different things, to do variations. For example, in the voice. So it's really cool.
Well, it's the little talking part you're doing at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
I love it.
It builds, it moves.
There's definitely a satisfaction as a musician of being able to explore different territory like that, and test your limits with something that's outside, what you've sort of done previously.
On this track, we added also some VSTs with an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
With violins and everything. You had the front row, the third row, the back row. We did also this on some songs on the previous album, so this is not new. On the previous album, we have the Mass Murder Policy, Fight Until I Die, and
Declaration of War. Declaration of War, if I'm not wrong. In the
all of the three songs also has the orchestra in the background. But this one needed to have, because this one and when it comes for the solo, Sergio does a hell of a solo here.
Like that's what I love. Like I'm a huge fan of like Lamb of God, right? They're a great band, incredible work, but my favorite Lamb of God tracks are the ones where they get a little bit more experimental. Songs like Reclamation, King Me, Overlord, all these ones where they do something that's outside of their normal sort of formula, So and it's just because there's just something about them. It's fresh from them. It's different from what they normally
your chops
do.
As musicians, it's like it's not the same formula. Like like it's like food. Yes, the same food's all mad, but you ever notice that maybe when you go over to your mate's mum's house and she cooks the exact same food, but it's just that little bit different that one time, and it's just that little bit better? There's nothing wrong with that. It's Like the worst part about it is when musicians stagnate and you feel like you
Yeah.
need to sit in that one formula all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, please do. We love that. That's how you build fans. That's how you build the cult following. But there is nothing better, and especially for those real fans. And yes, every band, when you become famous, should take time to write those songs for musicians, for your fans that are musicians, that
Yeah.
wish for you to take those extra, take those big swings and have that little bit of a crack. The populace may not like it, but the real fans will appreciate exactly what you're trying to accomplish and realize that you're trying to grow as a musician. That's why I get so many people get upset when bands change up their style. No, they haven't changed up their style. They're growing as people and musicians.
Yeah, they're
And
evolving and
you're
changing.
and unfortunately, guess what? You're not the target audience anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is.
Yeah. So many bands that they evolve and change and they grow, and it's like there's I don't know if you guys are familiar with a band called Silverchair. They're an Australian grunge band from back in the day, and there's a quote from the singer in an interview that he was having, and I can't remember the exact wording of the quote, but basically he's like, people would come up to him all the time and tell him how like the first two Silverchair albums were like amazing, and they're like, oh, why don't you like that's the best stuff you've ever done, and he's like, I was a teenager when I wrote those albums. Are you seriously telling me that I've not progressed and gotten better as a musician since I was, like 17 years old? Like, no, that's insulting to me to say that. That I'm,
You have not grown as a person or a musician in the last 20 years of your life, and you should stick to doing the same shit that you were doing. That is ridiculous.
It's fine for people to have their preferences of what music they like and don't like. No one's saying everyone has to like everything. But this is something, again, that Kyle and I talk about a fair bit, which is the difference between how a musician engages with music that they listen to and versus the lay person, someone who listens to music but isn't a musician. They will consume and experience music in a different way to someone that also plays music and creates music of their own. And it really just creates a very different perspective between how those two people view things. And I think that quite often the musician will be more open to the bands that they like growing and evolving and changing, whereas the layperson tends to be more on the other side of, well, no, I just kind of like they don't even know what it is that they like about it a lot of the time. They just know that it resonates with them, and then the new album doesn't resonate the same way. So they just go, well, I don't like that, And again, preferences are fine. It just understand that people grow and evolve, and we have to accept that.
Dopamine. That's all it is. It's just this album makes the dopamine receptors make my funny little receptors in my brain go off. This album did not. That is not the musician's fault.
Yeah, of course. The key thing, the key thing is we do music for us.
Yes,
we do music that we like to do. Then some people will hear and some people will like, some people will not like. But first of all, we have to do music for us. We have to be happy. We have to be proud of the music that we do. Then the rest will come out.
I think in our situation there's a point indeed that we have been involved since the beginning until now. And also when Henrique joined the band, we had a chance to do something different because he has a voice that he can do some changes, not just only the growl. When you were listening to the Nepotism and when he says the Nepotism, that it's like when you were saying that it's like a rock kind of no, it's more like an overdrive. So it's not full distorted, but kind of an overdrive over the voice, and also does the cleans. So, and this also gives us some leverage to do some kind of work that he can also add this to the songs. Before, we didn't have the chance because the members that we had, in this case the previous vocalist, he didn't have that flexibility with his voice. It was that, and we needed to make songs that will fit into the voice. And now I think we are on the leverage that even from the first single until now. I think that the band now it's still evolving, and the album is not even yet released. And just yesterday or the day before, I just sent something new for them to listen.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
Dude,
That's great. You're already working on the next one. You're already working on the one after that.
But that's the thing. This album's already done. It's recorded. It's mastered. They're just
for us,
that's the
it's
thing.
done. For us, it's done.
Man,
Yeah, it's done.
In theory, if we're talking release dates, the thing doesn't come out for another 3 to 5 months.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of work to get done in between then and there. And this is the thing. Like a lot of bands feel like as soon as they've done that album, they can relax.
Yeah.
No.
We are not like that.
No.
We are
man.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's time to start. It's time to start like switching gears and going up a gear, not slowing down. It's time to speed up.
Yep.
The train never stops. The train never stops.
Man, because as soon as you stop, someone else is going ahead.
Yeah. Because we are always trying to be a step ahead. So that's why we are already have a new video. It's why we are thinking about to shoot another one, and this that we have it doesn't yet came out. So we are looking always ahead. And that's it. Never stop. Never be.
Yes. On that spot, we are a very active band.
Good.
Good. I love to see it, and I'm keen. I'm so keen for this new album to come out, and we'll definitely be adding it to the rotation because
100%.
We're super excited for hear that one.
But
just
listen to the previous one, The Day of Reckoning. I think
absolutely.
that you will like it.
I got to sit down. I'm gonna sit down and go through all of the previous stuff. I just need to make some time to do that. Maybe I got to do some cleaning tomorrow, so I'll put it on while I'm cleaning, and I'll listen to it then.
The first one, I'm Alive, since you say that you are a big Lamb of God fan, you will notice some
Straight Down to
on
Hell.
the voice.
Like Straight Down to Hell, the way the vocal movements work, it is phenomenal. I love people that can scream in key.
Yeah.
It's a talent. You got to have an ear for it. I don't care. Look, not taking anything away from anyone that can just belt them, hammering out every single time. But there's something about being able to move your vocal key, moving key with your screams. It's wow.
Yeah.
It's control on a different level.
I can say you that for this album, all the musics are different. All the songs are different. In terms of vocal job, all of them are different. You cannot say,
I can't wait.
This one is these two are similar. The guy sings no, that doesn't exist. All of them are different.
That's so cool. All right,
I love every bit of that.
We'll wrap the podcast there, but we were going to have a quick question quarter, and Get in the Bin are going to be coming on the weekend. So those of you who are watching, if you've been enjoying this so far, you're going to have way more with All Against coming in a couple more days. So don't worry about that. New album from these guys, Straight Down to Hell, is coming in the first few months of next year. Go and follow them on the socials. We'll have all the links down in the thing underneath so you can follow them. We'll have a link to the Spotify so you can go and check out everything there. If you haven't heard of All Against before, now you know about them. Go and check them out because it deserves a listen. These guys are incredibly talented, and just go and check them out. And hey, if enough people in Australia listen to them, maybe we can get them over here for a tour.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we can get them over here for a tour, bring them down under, But look, thank you so much to Bruno and Henrique for joining us for the podcast today. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been amazing. I have been the Reverend Raff. He has been the BeerBuddy Carl. I always forget what side he's on.
Who cares?
We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell down there. It helps the channel grow. We are still a fairly young channel, and we like to try and grow our audience all over the world. We do also, for those of you who are interested, have a Patreon. It's just a couple of bucks a month. At the moment, you get all the videos early and ad-free, but we are working on ways to increase the value of that and make it a bit more enticing. So don't forget to keep an eye out and check back on what's going on over there. Other than that, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.